Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm so excited. I have some black bean noodles. Yes, I got black bean noodles, and actually, because I love some rice cakes, I put some rice cakes in here. I don't know if that's a no-no. Let's have a bite. It's a yes for me anyway. And I just had some bean sprouts, and I have this is called rapini. It's very similar to Chinese broccoli, and I love it. So we have it. And we also have kimchi. So yeah. Now I just finished cooking these. So they are super hot. So I have no idea how I'm going to do this. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And they're all, I don't know. I think I made a lot. So that's kind of annoying. I'm going to burn my face. Very hot. Okay. And I got some kimchi, so I'm excited. If you're new to my channel, keep in touch. Subscribe. And comment, please. I'm in a little bit of a better mood today. I don't know why. So that's good. What have you guys been up to? I just got home from work. I still have to cook dinner for everybody else. Nick Avocado just posted his clap back, so I kind of want to see what that's all about. I love Chinese broccoli. I feel like this is a little bit bitter, but the reason why I like these a little bit more is because they have more of the head pieces. You know what I'm saying? It's not just all leaves. And because I'm on a diet, so good. All right. I'm scared I'm going to burn my mouth. That's okay. Let's do it. I'll get something on the side here. Okay. So my girl, Chanel, she's nosy. I love her. She asked me more questions. So I'm going to give you more answers. Okay. Oh my gosh. These are like the noodles that never end. It's so hot. Okay. So let's start. Let's just get into it. How did your husband propose? Like a total a-hole. No, he was cute. I'm still not married. We're engaged. And the reason is because he's not fully divorced. He's been separated for a very long time. It's just one of those long, long divorce battles, which is fine. Whatever. It doesn't bother me. So, I mean, we had talked about maybe getting married. It wasn't like something we frequently talked about because until he's like fully finished with his situation, we can't do it anyway, right? So, there was progress at one point. We thought that he was going to get granted a divorce. So, how many years ago was it now? I'm going to say 3, maybe 4 years ago. He thought he was going to get granted a divorce. And this was around October or November, a few years ago. So, I had no idea. Like, I had no idea he was going to propose or anything like that. Animal, if you're watching, I'm going to pull a Meg Ryan. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So what had happened was he had thought this divorce. I'm sorry. I'm like enjoying. I can't keep on track here. What's going on? So he thought his divorce was gonna get granted, and he had started shopping for engagement rings, which I had no freaking clue. Never told me. So Christmas time comes. And he had ordered me a jewelry box. He's like, he was online somewhere and found this really cute jewelry box. He's like, do you want me to get you one? I said, I don't really need one, but whatever. I'm not a big jewelry person. He's like, yeah, I'm going to buy you one. I'm going to buy, if you know my husband's history, I'm going to buy 2 of these and then you can give one to somebody else. I'm like, okay. So he ordered that and he's like, you know, that's going to be your Christmas gift. I'm like, that's fine. Because we're not big on getting each other gifts for Christmas. Like, we don't need anything. And I just find it so wasteful just buying for the sake of buying. So he... Anyway, Christmas morning comes. And normally I host Christmas. It's not bleeding. So, my kids wake up Christmas morning. They open everything Santa brought. My husband's son comes because he didn't live with us at the time to join us. And then my dad and my brothers and sisters and everybody came for like a lunch. We do like a light lunch and then I go to town for dinner. So I think Christmas Eve, the night before, I don't know what we were doing, but I remember I was so hungover. So I had to wake up early with the kids, prepare a huge Christmas dinner / lunch. So I was hungover and I didn't feel like getting ready. Like I didn't want to put makeup on. I didn't want to whatever. And my husband's not the type of person to be like, you look like shit, go get ready. Or like you need to put makeup on. He's not like that, right? So I'm like doing what I need to do, getting it done at the pace that I could. He's like, are you gonna plan on like getting ready? I'm like, no, I don't feel like it. It's like, but your family's coming home. I'm like, who cares? Like, my dad seen me with no makeup. I don't give a shit. I'll get ready after. Like, after we open presents or whatever. Hot. So, they're like, are you sure? I'm like, what the hell? Like, what? Is everybody saying I look like extra garbage today? Okay. So... this is not biting. Everybody's over. We open up gifts, and usually I do my gifts at the end, like when everybody else is done. I already knew he got me a jewelry box. He wrapped it, but I'm like, I'll open it later. Like, I have so much shit to do. But I don't open it now. I'm like, okay. So, I'm like, fine, I'll open it. So I open the box. I'm like, wow, thank you. And he's like, are you going to open the jewelry box? I'm like, no. So I open the jewelry box, and inside there's like a card. And a ring. I'm on. Okay. And inside the card, it said something like, it wasn't like, will you marry me? It's not like he got down on one knee. Now the ring, it kind of looked like an engagement ring, but kind of didn't. And he's like not born here. So he like, and he's not good with that stuff. So like, I don't know. So I'm like, what the card read was like something basic, like, oh, let's be together forever, or like whatever. Something we say now anyway. So I'm like, oh, thank you. And everybody's like looking at me and looking at him, and they're like waiting for him to do something, waiting for me to do something. I'm like, thanks, like so much. I was so awkward. I didn't know. I think he had went outside after, like, so I'm like, oh, thanks, whatever. So he went outside, and I followed him. I'm like, so, like, what was that? I'm like, what does that mean? And he's like, I'm like, no, I don't know. Like, what was that for? And then he goes on to say, like, like, let's get married. I'm like, okay, why couldn't you say anything? I look like an idiot. Like, I totally, you know what I mean? So we come back inside. I'm like, okay, so guys, everybody, I guess this is what it is. Everybody's like, yay. They were so excited, but it was just the most, I know that sounds so anticlimactic, but it totally was anticlimactic. I couldn't make the story funny. I'm just explaining the way it was, and it was so awkward. It was like like at least like open the box, get down on one knee, no, nothing. It was like, so like, what the hell? It was just the most awkward thing. But anyway, it was cute. That's totally us. Awkward and ridiculous. So I guess it's fitting. If you could hold on to one memory of your life forever, what would that be? I don't know, man. One memory from my life forever. I don't know. Probably when we would like went to Istanbul. I just had such a great time, such a great feeling. The only thing I would say that was missing, my son wasn't there, but when you're like in a great place and with great people and great everything, I think maybe that right now is what I can think of. That's kind of boring, but where did I grow up? Where did you grow up? Where did I? I'm getting full. I was picking, that's why. Don't pick before I'm mukbang. Like, who am I? I grew up outside of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And I lived there for a long, long time. When I was about 18, then I moved away, and I've been all over the place ever since. So, yeah. I'm not far from there now. So, my dad still lives near there. And then she asks, what was my childhood like? My childhood was okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. My parents were very hardworking people. I'm very strict. My parents fought all the time. My mom was kind of pushed into marrying my father. And then my mom got sick at a very young age and she passed away. And that was very hard because out of the two parents, my mom was probably easier. Oh my God, I don't know what I just said. Did I say like that sucks? Like, no, I love my father. No, it just, out of the two, my dad was harder to live with. It's not like life is what it is. I hope I didn't say that. I really don't remember. And if I did, I didn't mean it to come across that way. My dad, just think about, like, okay, I'm not going to speak for everybody, but my dad is an immigrant. He barely, he speaks English, but not very well. And he's very traditional and old-fashioned. So, my mom used to cook, clean, all that stuff, raise the kids, work, and he would work and come home, He never needed to know how to do the clothes washing and run around with the kids and cook and all that stuff. And you know how moms are. Moms, okay, I don't know about me. I'm a little bit more catering to my children. Like, they don't like something a lot. Like, I tend to avoid making it for them. Whereas my mom was like that, but you still got one meal and that it is what it is. You eat or you don't. But with my dad, it wasn't like that. Like, so it was very hard because first of all, he's such a negative person. And my dad's a little bit, he's a very negative person and he's very miserable. He's very miserable. He's negative. He's the type of person that likes misery. And if he's miserable, he wants to make everybody else miserable. So there was a lot of tension and stress growing up, especially with the loss of my mom. And we had, when my mom died, my little sister was 14 months old. So he also had a new child. And so dealing with, we were, my, like, as, I'm not saying my dad was negative after all this stuff happened. He was like this before. It just added, there was that extra added stress of losing a partner and losing a parent. So I rebelled. I always wanted to be out of the house. And first of all, you have to understand too, my dad was a single parent at that time too. So he couldn't just buy us whatever clothes we wanted or whatever. So at about 13 or 14, I got my first job. And I would go to school and work sometimes 2 jobs, 3 jobs even. Like sometimes, it depends on where I would find work. And I wouldn't want to be in the house. So I would always be out with guys or whoever, friends. Just sometimes I wouldn't even show up for days because it was so stressful in the house. And it's not my dad's fault. Like this is the thing too. It's like you can't blame people for who they are, but you have to learn how to, I feel like you have to learn how to accept people. And now it's different because I'm not living there. Like I accept who he is, but he's the type of person who'll bring up things from 20 years ago, people who have wronged him, and he'll like explain the story every single time from that. And it gets too much. I love him to pieces, but I just can't be around that. Like if you can't move past things that have happened in your past, especially from that long ago, then, and you have so much hatred and don't forgive people, like it's just a lot to be around. So yeah, I mean, it was very stressful growing up, but I mean, I'm okay. I don't make my past a part. Like I get that there's people that have had hard childhoods and then they grow up and they're in bad situations, but you are who you are and you don't have to live by your past. You can make your own conscious decisions to be a better person and to grow from it. You don't need to let that hold you back. So, I mean, yeah, that was my childhood. It wasn't anything exciting. I didn't, I feel like it was normal compared to everybody else, right? Like nobody has a perfect upbringing. Mine wasn't special and I wasn't starving either. There is a lot of people that had it worse than me. So that's my growing up. Do I have any favorite stories about my kids? I have a lot. I love my kids. My kids are so funny. And I'll tell you a couple. I was a young mom. See, this is the thing. I had my oldest when I was 19. Now, my mom had kids around that age, but at that time, I feel like nowadays it's not, people aren't getting pregnant at 18 and having kids at 19. Like, not that they aren't, it just, people are waiting longer in life to have kids. So I was pretty young. I mean, there is benefits to having kids young, but then there's like its downfalls. I feel like I wasn't totally mentally prepared to have children. Now, when you're older in life, you're mentally prepared, but sometimes you don't have the energy and then like you're held back if you want to like go traveling. Like now I'm able to like go do those things because my kids are older. But anyway, I mean, if I had to go back in time, like I probably wouldn't change anything, but if I had to suggest, if people ask me advice, I would say like wait to have kids. Anyway, my oldest, I can't remember what she had done, but she potty trained. Like I don't remember. We were rewarding her for something, so we decided to buy her a pet fish. And my daughter, even though she was young, she's always been mature for her age, even till this day. So we thought, like, okay, you know what? We're going to get our fish. I'll make sure she feeds it every day. Make it feel like her own kind of thing. So we had this little like tank for her, for this fish. Oh my God. And she picked the most ugliest fish. Like, I'm like, okay, you know what? I can be kind of anal about stuff. I'm like, okay, you pick a fish. And me, I would pick like something pretty or whatever. No. She picked the ugliest fish you could possibly imagine. It was absolutely ugly. But anyway, never mind about that. Yeah, so we brought the fish home. She was so proud of this fish. And then like we had it for a little while and we got into a routine of like when we should feed it and cleaning the tank and blah, blah, blah. So one day I was probably cleaning the house and I noticed something in the fish tank. I'm like, what is that? And I look in and there is like a pizza, like a slice of pizza just chilling in the fish tank. I'm like, Marla, like what happened here? And she's like, oh, you know, I thought, you know, I love pizza. Like pizza's like my favorite. And I thought the fish would like pizza. I'm like, you can't feed pizza to fish. So I had to take the pizza out, clean the whole tank. That fish didn't last long. Like she was good with it, but there were certain things like she did that I was like, okay, you know what? Like it wasn't like she had total access to this and just like did whatever she wanted. Like we obviously monitored her, but like, oh my God. Anyway, so there was that. My son is a total typical boy and he's very rambunctious. Speak of the devil, not my son, the other one. Yes, I told you already. I'm filming. Okay. He is very curious. I'm not gonna lie, he's a freaking troublemaker. So I don't know. I never had like 5 minutes to myself when they were little. If I needed a haircut, guess what? All 3 kids were coming with me. If I had to like go get a mammogram, yeah, all 3 kids were coming with me. Like it was just like that. So I always had my kids everywhere. So I would like tend to avoid doing things like getting a haircut and whatever just because it was such, not that it was a hassle to bring them, but lugging around 3 kids and then getting your hair done for like an hour, 2 hours, it's a lot. Like, you know, so one day I had enough. I'm like, I need to get my freaking haircut. I'm going to bring my kids. And my son normally doesn't act like this, but I don't know what the hell came over him. And my daughter. So my daughter was so curious about watching this hairdresser. She's like, she asked the hairdresser, she's like, have you ever cut yourself while you're like cutting somebody's hair? And she's like, no, I've never done that. And literally within 5 minutes, she cut her finger. I was like, okay, this is a coincidence. It's a little bit embarrassing. I'm like, oh my God, like I was kind of embarrassed because they were already acting up and getting bored and just being rambunctious. And then my son goes and says like, sometimes I wonder what a human baby tastes like. I wanted to smack him upside the head. I'm like, what the hell? Are you psycho? I was like, what are you talking about, dude? These are my kids are. I mean, we look back on it now, and literally that would be alarming to most moms, and it was definitely alarming to me, but I knew he was goofing off and whatever. I'm like, what the hell? Like, why? Why? So, yes, they embarrass me sometimes in public, but that's fine. Those are just a couple things. I mean, I have so many like funny stories. I just thought those were really whack. And I thought it'd be fun to share those. Like, what? What is, I can't believe he said that. What does he, like, unbelievable. What else? Do you have a nickname when you was little? Yes, Lottie is my nickname. What lessons have you learned from your relationships? I feel what I have learned is I feel like anybody can make a relationship work, but you both have to want to. I also learned that relationships don't always work out, but you don't have to be negative and hateful about it. You can still have a friend. As an example, me and my ex, the one I had my first two children with, we have a great relationship now. It didn't work. I feel like there's so many reasons why it didn't work. It wasn't his fault. It wasn't my fault. It was just a combination of both of us being different and timing and other factors in a relationship. But that's not his fault nor my fault. And once people, I feel like people just don't see that. Like things don't work for, okay, I'm not going to speak for somebody who's like been cheated on or whatever. Yes, but like things don't work out, and then you have to be like, even though we did fight a lot or whatever in our relationship, like that didn't have to carry over into our. Now I don't know. I have kids with him, so like if I didn't have kids, I don't know if there would be a relationship. But I like, even with his new wife and with my husband, like we all get along, and it doesn't have to be so negative. It's just on you as a person. And but what I did learn from like relationships that didn't work out, and even in my current relationship, is that I learned a lot about myself. I learned about a lot about what I like and what I don't like. And see, instead of like a relationship failing and then you'd be like, oh my God, like what did I do wrong? Or why didn't he like me? Or what? Like I took that and said, okay, you know what? Like these were the reasons we were fighting on my end or on his end. And I just try, and you just got to work on don't change for anybody else. Like you are who you are, but you also got to learn from your experience to be a better person in general. It doesn't matter if it's a relationship or anything in life. Like I just feel like you got to grow and learn, and life goes on after a relationship. I don't know why that was totally related to breakup. I don't even feel like she said like past relationship. Yeah, so just in relationships in general. This probably sounds so cliche, but I feel the best relationships work when you love yourself. I'm gonna be 100% honest, because I'm at the point now where I'm happy as a person. I'm confident. I like myself. I actually like myself. And I found when that happened, the dynamic of my relationship changed. Whereas my partner respected me more. And not that he didn't respect me before. I can't explain it. Like, his confidence in me grew. And I feel like I had just more confidence and more power. I don't know. I don't know if it makes sense. I just felt like when I had the confidence and I learned to love myself, it made just a huge difference in my relationship. Like, it reflected in my relationship, reflected into, you know, even in my kids, in my work life, in my, you know what I mean? It just, that's what I feel. Do you believe in love at first sight? Even, I don't know. I I don't, I'm not the type of person that will look at somebody. I don't know, maybe you are, or like you out there. I can't look at somebody and be like, oh my God, he's so hot. Like, it's the weirdest thing. I don't look at people and be like, oh my God, that guy's sexy. Or like, oh my God, that guy's so hot. Like, if you ask me who I think is the most good looking actor, I'm like, like, there's good looking actors, but there's not, like, I don't have like a celebrity crush or somebody I've been dying. That's not me. I have to know somebody to fall in love with them. Does that make sense? Like, I don't like look at somebody and be like, oh my God, he's so hot. And then date him. And then, you know what I mean? I feel like I need to know somebody first, and then I find them attractive. I don't know if, I also believe men will fall in love with their eyes, but women will fall in love with their ears. That's what I feel. I could be wrong. There's probably women out there that, oh, I lost a chopstick. I'm not going to answer all these questions. I'm full, and I feel like this video is a total fail because I just rambled about, I don't know, I just was all over the place. Okay, there's literally 2 more questions. I'll quickly answer them. Can you tell us about your first kiss? It was so gross. I felt like the first kiss, if I felt gross, and he was kind of gross. I didn't know what he was really doing. I think I was in grade 8 or grade 7, maybe even grade 6. Yeah. And I feel like he was in high school. And it was just the most awkward thing. Like, it was just so awkward. And then I felt absolutely disgusted with myself after. It was just so awkward. Do you have any stories from your marriage? Marriage. Like, I'm not sure what you mean. Like, is there any like interesting stories from like my marriage? Yeah, there's probably a lot. Like, we've been through hell and back. I don't know if that's what you mean, or like from my wedding. I don't know, but like, yeah, there is so many stories. I just feel like right now all I can think of is something like too personal or that I can't really share, or maybe I don't want to share. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one. What were the best times with you and your husband? Honestly, we get along very well. We really get along really, really well. The best times we have is probably when we're traveling. Because it's like we are so busy in our day-to-day lives, and I'm always with a kid around me somewhere. And when he comes home, like, we're always on top of each other. Like, it's very rare that like my kids are not there with us. So I feel like me and him, when we go on vacation, we don't go on vacation very often, but when we do like to take a break from the kids to kind of reconnect. And we always have a great time on vacation. I feel like it's a much needed time out. Like, we need some adult time. And yeah, you know what, like, we get along. We have the same vibe. Like, when we go on vacation too, like, we like to sightsee, but we also like to sleep. So we're not the type that want to wake up bright and early, because we do that all the time. So we like to kind of take our time getting up in the morning, catch up on our sleep, and then like have the rest of the day to like pick a few things to go and sightsee. We just like to, so we get along very well. And those are my favorite moments. And I'm pretty sure if you were to ask him, he'd probably say the same thing. Maybe his best moments with me are probably when I'm not around. I'm kidding, probably. Anyway, if you guys made it this far, God bless you. I don't know how you're not snoring at this point. Chanel, more questions. Nobody wants to hear about my husband. All these and my kids are all boring. Anyway, I don't know what the hell I was thinking by making all of this food. But I am definitely going to have leftovers, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, well, I'm glad you guys came around and watched. I'll see you in my next video. Love you guys. Bye.